live? Is it? You are live in the building, no?
All right, now it says I'm on here, yes.
Mic check, mic check. So we are going live at 12 p.m. And we are going to talk about your financial rights as a traveler. And so use this second right now to share this video. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to share it on my personal page and my other pages, but share this. This is important information. There's a lot of things happening as it relates to travel right now. And we'll jump in deeper to it. But as your financial empowerment coach, I want to give you the information financially that's going to help you protect your money. So share this video on your personal page, post it on your friend's page. If you got a business page or a side hustle, put it on the side hustle page. We want everybody to know how are they going to protect themselves financially as they travel. So let's go to Facebook. Here we go. So I'm gonna share. And as we discuss your financial rights as a traveler. Post. All right, so it is 12 o'clock. It is 12 o'clock. And so welcome to Money Mondays with Ash Cash, brought to you by Bank Mobile, the first all-digital bank that is providing you with a financially empowering experience. And so every Monday at 12 p.m., we go live to give you topics that are pertinent, that are important, that's going to help you be financially empowered. And so I am Ash Cash. I'm your financial empowerment coach, your go-to guy who is going to help you with all of your financial needs, all of your financial questions. And so, let's just jump right in. We know that, since January 20th, we have a new president, President Trump. And so far, there's been a lot of executive orders being signed, and some of them and a lot of them have ramifications financially. But the one that's the hot topic right now is there is a current ban on certain people from certain countries coming in to the United States, and so with that ban that has happened, there are a lot going on. There is a lot going on financially, with this ban that's going on, and so when we think about this ban, when you look at the different countries, or you look at your traveling in general, when you try to travel, there's protesting happening. There is, flight delays. There's so much happening, from a travel perspective that it can affect you financially. So what I wanted to do today is give you a few tips on how is this travel ban affecting you financially, and what are your rights? What are your rights as it relates to this financial or to this ban, or as you want to travel, whether you're traveling domestically, whether you're traveling internationally, what are your rights? So first, let's just jump right in. Right, when you think about luggage, on average, 2 million. There are 2 million lost domestic luggages, right? So anybody traveling domestically, 2 million luggages get lost each year, right? Which is a big thing that happens. For the most part, a lot of them, they get found, but especially now with what's going on with protesting and the chaos that's happening at airports, what can you do if your luggage gets lost? And so what people don't realize or may not know is that the United States Department of Transportation actually it secures you up to $3,300 per customer for reimbursement. And so what does that mean? That means that if you have lost your luggage and the airport they attempt everything to try to get your luggage back, if they are not successful in retrieving your luggage, then you are protected up to $3,300 of protection if your luggage gets lost. So you need to understand that, because again, as there is chaos going on, as people are trying to travel. If you don't have to travel, I wouldn't say to travel now until a lot of this stuff gets sorted out. But again, even if you're traveling domestically, the chaos, the things that are happening you may experience lost luggage. So you're protected by the United States Department of Transportation for up to $3,300. You may have to provide receipts or provide, proof of what's in your luggage and what's worth, the worth of it. So that's important as well. But, at the same time, they really can't, they can't prove what clothes you had in there, what other things you had in there, but just know that you are protected up to 3,300. So that's tip number one, is that you are protected for lost luggage. Number two is you are protected for a delayed flight. And so what happens is that, again, the United States Department of Transportation, they mandate that if after an hour of delay, 1 hour of delay on a domestic flight, or between 1 and 4 hours delay on international flights, that you can get reimbursed for the price of your flight, right? And so that reimbursement may come in the form of a refund. That reimbursement may come, in a form of a voucher where they give you, access to another flight at a future date. But if your flight is delayed, you do not have to continue with that flight. That if it's a domestic flight, and it's delayed 1 hour or more, then you have the right to get reimbursed. If it's an international flight, then between 1 and 4 hour delay, then you have the right to be reimbursed as well. A lot of people don't know that. With the protests that are happening, there may be incidences where you're traveling and there are delays, and the thought process is, as there are delays, you may realize that this is a trip that you have to take. But if you have the option of saying, you know what, this delay is costing me this trip, or I need to cancel this trip, because let's use myself as an example. I travel a lot for business, so I'm going to different states, may have a speaking engagement or do something at a different state, and so if I have a specific I'm the financial empowerment coach. So if it's a situation where if I'm going to DC or if I'm going someplace close and I just don't feel like staying overnight, I may, book a trip for that day and then come back that same night. And if I do that, and my flight is delayed for a long period of amount of time, it may make sense for me to cancel that trip, and just set it up for a different day or cancel that appointment altogether. And so people don't realize that this is an option, that you do have the option of being reimbursed for your trips if there is a long delay in your travel. So number two is delayed flight. And then the last tip that I'm going to give you, and this is something that people don't realize, right? So, it like the airfare or the airline business is a business, right? And so there are a lot of times that most of the times, and we may not realize this, but most of the times, what airlines do is that they overbook flights. And the reason why they overbook flights is because they've done research, they've been in the airline business for so long, is that they, overbook flights because 9 times out of 10, people are going to drop off, right? People are going to cancel their flights, and so that way they get to retain some of the money, but then eventually they want to, as much as possible, book as many seats as possible. So let's say, for instance, they have 100 seats, they may book 120 seats, knowing that 20 people are probably going to drop off. And so the reason why they do that is because if they only booked 100 and 20 people dropped off, they'll only have 80 seats sold. So they want to maximize all of the seats on the plane. Because if they don't maximize it, it's lost money, right? They can't make that money back once the flight leaves. But keeping that in mind, there has been times where they will overbook a flight, and when they overbook the flight and everybody shows up, they can't have 120 people on a 100 seat plane, and so when that happens, they have to ask for anybody who's voluntarily who wants to volunteer to switch their flight. Then if they don't find someone who can volunteer to switch their flight, what they would do is they will choose people. They will randomly choose people. And so one of the things that is important to realize is that they are, they have the opportunity, or they usually, if you are going to volunteer to give up your seat, that they can give you up to 4 times the value of your ticket in a voucher, right? Up to $1,300. And this is something, again, the United States Department of Transportation regulates all of these laws. And so it is your right that if you have, whether voluntarily or involuntarily, have to get bumped off your flight for whatever reasons, and mainly is because they have overbooked it, that they are going to they can reimburse you up to 4 times the amount. So if you pay $200 for your ticket, you can literally get an $800 voucher because they bumped you off your flight. That is your right, up to $1,300. And so that is something that people do not know. They don't understand this as their right, as a traveler. So your financial right as a traveler. So make sure that you understand this, and this is why I'm giving you this knowledge. So as a recap, number one, you lost luggage. If you are traveling and your luggage is lost for whatever reasons, and every attempt has been made to try to get your luggage back, and it's unsuccessful, then you can be reimbursed up to $3,300 for your lost luggage. That is a mandate by the United States Department of Transportation. Number two, any delayed flights. If you are flying domestically or internationally, if it's domestic and your flight is delayed 1 hour, then you can ask for reimbursement. If you're traveling internationally and your flight is delayed between 1 hour to 4 hours, then you can also ask for reimbursement. And then lastly, if you're bumped from an oversold flight, you can also ask for reimbursement up to 4 times the amount that you paid for the ticket. So those are the three tips: how to protect yourself financially. Make sure you shoot me an email, ashcash@bankmobile.com. Let me know what topics do you want to hear? What topics do you want me to talk about? I felt like this was a topic that no one's really talking about, especially with what's happening with the ban on, the travel ban on the different countries. So it's going to affect us. And if it's going to affect us, morally, in all different types of ways, but financially as well. And so we need to understand, how do we protect ourselves financially, especially for things that are out of our control. So when we look at what's being caused by some of these actions that are happening, they're going to be consequences which may result into delayed flights, which may result into the loss of luggage, which may result in being bumped off of a flight. And so how do you protect yourself? Do you just accept the loss? Do you accept this inconvenience? What happens? And this is why we have talked about this. But again, make sure you email me, ashcash@bankmobile.com, so that if you have any questions that you need answered or any topics that you want me to cover during the Money Mondays with Ash Cash every Monday, 12 p.m. Make sure you email me so we can get that going. So I'm going to open it up for any questions. Let's see if we have any questions so far. All right, let's see what happens. Fast shout to Bogdan. Let them know you are appreciated. I'm reading. I was supposed to read that. That's Facebook telling me to appreciate Bogdan. So fast shout to Bogdan. Fast shout to Masood Rana. Thank you so much for joining us. Sabrina Lamb, thank you for joining, Miss Lamb. PK Kersey, thank you. Narmaz, so where can I pick up my 3,300? So that's a great question. Narmaz asks, where can I pick up my 3,300? So as it happens, you go to the airlines, right? So, as your flight or your luggage is lost, what usually happens, you go to the airlines, you ask them for them to find the luggage, and they are going to make every attempt to find your luggage. A reasonable time is 1 week. So after a week of them trying to find your luggage, if they're not able to find your luggage, then they are responsible for reimbursing you. So you will get reimbursed through the airlines. But again, they may ask you to provide receipts, and so be on the lookout for that possibly happening. But for the most part, people may not have receipts, but just keep it would be a good practice that as you travel, you keep a log of the things that you've packed. So if you're traveling for a week or traveling for a day, just kind of understand and know what have you packed in there, and keep a log of it. So at least if your luggage gets lost, you can say, these are the items that I had. And even if you don't have the receipts, there may be ways for you to be able to get at least the value of the items by having that in your luggage. So thank you for the question, Narmads. Another question: I'm coming to get my check and deposited to my high yield savings account. Yes, absolutely. Get that check deposited in the high yield savings account. Bank Mobile, totally free banking experience. So make sure you do that. Bass Moreno has joined. Alicia, the Queen, thank you for joining. And so if you have any questions, again, you can ask your questions here, but also you can shoot me an email, at bankmobile.com with any questions, suggestions, ideas. But again, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Money Mondays with Ash Cash. We're gonna be taking it to the streets as well soon, and so talk to us. Let us know what topics do you want to talk about. What topics should we talk to the people about? So make sure you tune in. Tell a friend to tell a friend every Monday, 12 p.m. Facebook Live, bankmobile.com. I am Ash Cash. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Peace.